It's a pivotal Game 3 tomorrow night on ABC as the series shifts to napdown. Despite his heroics in Game 1, Tyrese Haliburton struggled in Indiana's Game 2 loss, shooting 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 5 from beyond the arc through the first 3 quarters. SGA continues to shine in the NBA Finals as his 34 points and 8 assists in Game 2 led the way for the Thunder, evening up the series at 1. Aaron Wiggins, Alex Caruso stepped up big in Game 2 for the Thunder as they combined for 38 points and became the second duo in NBA Finals history to each hit 4+ three-pointers off the bench of a Finals game. Stephen A. Smith, all knotted up. Here's what I need to know from you. A pivotal Game 3. What's going to be the biggest X factor tomorrow? What are you watching for?
To me, what I'm watching for is whether or not this guy, Aaron Wiggins, is going to have a repeat performance. You saw what he did in Game 2, Wendy. He had 18 points. He had 5 threes, okay? This is off the bench, 55% shooting, 6 for 11 from the field in just 21 minutes. When you saw him come off the bench and be that offensive spark plug for the Oklahoma City Thunder, you know what? You look at that 19-2 run. He had something to do with that. You look at how they pulled away from Indiana, how they kept them at bay. He had something to do with that. And by the way, when this brother scores, when he gets to produce in the way that he did the other day, okay, this is a guy with the Oklahoma City Thunder. When he scored a total of 24 and 1 when he scores 15 or more points. Now, obviously, most of those games have been blowouts because the Oklahoma City have blown out a lot of opponents this year. But when he's in the game and he's scoring, they don't lose. And I'm looking at it from that standpoint, knowing what Indiana in all likelihood is going to try to throw at you on their home turf, Wendy, in Games 3 and 4. To have somebody like him, you know you can rely on Alex Caruso defensively, and his 20 points were pivotal as well. But when you look at a guy like Wiggins, if Wiggins comes off the bench with Caruso and is as productive, I don't believe Indiana has a chance.
Wendy, where are you?
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, he was a 55th overall pick.
Yes.
55th overall pick, and the guy pretty much was a difference maker in a finals game. Molly, I don't like my answer here.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what my answer is right now, but I don't like it. Just so you know, my answer is how many shots Tyrese Haliburton gets. And the reason I don't like saying that is because in the last round, I had to go back and forth with Stephen A. when he was counting Ant Edwards' shots. And I didn't think that should define the way he played. And also, I recognize that the Pacers are not built around one player. They've had, they've only got one guy, I think, averaging 20 points a game in the playoffs. That's Pascal Siakam. And they had 7 guys in double figures just in Game 2, which they lost. But I really think that getting Haliburton's shots up is such an important aspect of what the Pacers have to do because he can't get shots against these guys, Stephen A. And I'm not talking about just the last 2 games. I'm looking at the last 2 years because that's what I look at the modern-day Thunder is the last 2 years. He's played 6 games against them. He's averaged 11 shots. And the reason that's so important is that when he plays well, at least offensively, it drives everything for the Pacers. In the playoffs, Molly, they're 7-1 when he scores 20 points. And by the way, the loss, he had 20. So he scores 21 points, they're 7-0, okay? And in those games, he's not just shooting. He averages 11 assists in those games. So when he gets going offensively, it opens up their whole team. And he cannot get shots off against this team. And again, it's not the first time we've heard this. We just were all over Ant about this, and Ant was like, I think I'm playing well. I can't get clean shots. So they have, and I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know the X's and O's suggestion for how Haliburton is going to get free. But Stephen A., they have got to find a way to get him space, whether that's playing faster, whether that's setting a pick higher, whether that's encouraging him to try to get downhill, because as you pointed out yesterday, in a devastating stat, Stephen A., probably the most devastating stat you said yesterday on this show was that Haliburton has no free throws in this series.
0.
That is an absolute indication of what they're doing to him. They've got to figure out a way to get him more involved. And to me, that's really what the game falls onto.
All right, so as far as X Factor, we currently have Wiggins and Tyrese Haliburton, and now we bring in one half of the best new duo here at ESPN, Markieff Morris. Markieff, thank you so much for being with us. Where are you on this in terms of, we're good, in terms of X Factor for a pivotal Game 3 in Indy tomorrow on ABC?
I would say Pascal Siakam, the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. He has to be more assertive. I know, like when we spent Haliburton and he has to, and he's 7-1 when they score 20 points. But I really think it's Pascal Siakam. When he gets the ball and he gets going, he gets the team going. Last game, he only made 3 shots. He only took 11 shot attempts. Again, it was game 2. It was more of a fill-out game once they got that first win in OKC. So they were just trying different things. I just thought that he wasn't super aggressive like he's been in the past. First game he had 19 points, 15 shots, but we need those numbers to go up. We need him to attack. We need him to attack the bigs, get in pick and rolls, slip outs, and be able to, create shots for everybody else along with scoring.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. That's a problem for him. Because Pascal Siakam, he had some time spent on him by Alex Caruso, who was all over him. Now, we saw Alex Caruso guarding Jokic, and so we know he doesn't mind getting physical. And no matter how physical Pascal Siakam can be, he ain't Jokic, that big tub of lard just wobbling around and stuff like that. And you can't stop him. Can't jump onto a curve, and you can't stop the man, okay? But the boy's a big boy. We understand what he brings to the table. Pascal Siakam ain't bringing that to the table. So if Alex Caruso was out there willing to battle throughout that Denver series the way that he did, obviously this is not as tall of a task. Pascal Siakam is a champion. He can play. He has to adjust. He has to find a way to not be held to 3 of 11 shooting. All of that is true. But the point guard for the Indiana Pacers, that young star everybody's been talking about, that dude that's 5 for 5 in terms of 15 seconds or left, trying to close the deal. When everybody else in the postseason was like 4-26. That dude that we've been talking about, you're going up against these brothers that got clamps on you. Guess what you can do, Wendy? Guess what could potentially open things up for him? If he pulls up from 3 and is yanking it from the outside, if he's forcing them to come out deeper in order to guard him, thereby creating space for himself to operate, you can handle the ball. You can get by defenders from time to time, but you got to make shots. Sometimes it really, really comes down to that. You got like Michael Jordan used to do this when the Knicks would throw Anthony Mason and other cats on them. Obviously, what would he do? He'd move without the ball. He'd make sure he had his mid-range game going for him because he recognized the physicality they were trying to throw in his direction. Haliburton can't do that, but you got to figure out something because he's the Lone Ranger for the Indiana Pacers in that regard. If he doesn't get going, they can't get going, and they're not going to have a chance to win this series.
Right.
Can I just say real quick? Can I just say real quick, why do you keep making fun of Jokic like that, Stephen A? This guy is one of the greatest players of our lifetime, and I realize he's got bad blood with our other guy, Markieff here. But come on, man.
Ain't got bad blood with me,
It's affectionate. It's affectionate, Wendy. I'm saying, but look at him. Like when he came into this. Remember when the players he had on his Joker outfit and just the way he walks. It's like it's very non-assuming. You have nothing to be concerned about. This is the kind of look he gives you. He's walking in. Who's this big guy?
Man.
He's just wobbling around and stuff like that. You ain't got to worry about him jumping on a curb. And then the next thing you know,
wobbling around and busting everyone's ass.
He's got 40 and 20.
I know. Okay,
That's what I'm saying. He's
all right. I'm
great.
sorry. Go ahead, Markieff.
He's great. It's all love. Ain't nothing but love for Jokic. How can you not?
All right.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely a great player. But I'm taking it back to Haliburton because I just keep hearing the clamps. They're not really putting clamps on this guy. I mean, obviously, 20 points, him scoring a lot is not really his game at times. But when you say clamps, that means they stopping him from doing anything that he wants. I mean, obviously, the first game he hit the game winner. They are pressuring him. And he is trying to figure out and pick his spots. But clamps, that's a little too far, I say. That's a little too far on. They're not really putting the clamps on this guy. He's just really picking his spots.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this, Mr. Markieff. Let me ask you this question.
Talk to me.
What the hell would you describe 5 points through the first 40 minutes of the game? What would you describe that as being?
Well, I would just describe it as being not aggressive because he still finished with 17.
Oh, come on now.
So it's not
you mean after they were up 23? Come on, Markieff.
But how many times have they been down 20? How many times have they been down 20 in this playoffs and it's shown that the game isn't over?
No, I'm just saying in that last game, they weren't coming back from it. They went on a 10-0 run to pull it within
So do we think they was coming back game 1?
Say what?
Do we think they was coming back game 1 when he made the game-winning shot?
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
No, we didn't.
So my point exactly. I don't think they put the clamps on him. I just think that he was filling through the game and he wasn't aggressive early on. Still scoring 12 points in the fourth quarter still shows because it wasn't like they just took all their players out and it just the bench was playing because they still had some fear in their heart from what happened last game. So those guys did play in the fourth quarter.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you get away with that one right now. I'm going to let the show progresses. I'm going to let you get warmed up. That's all right. I'm going to let you get that. Okay. We'll see.
We'll keep it pushing here. Guys, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander joins the likes of two all-time greats and Michael Jordan and LeBron James for most 30-point and 5-assist games in a single postseason in NBA history with 11 apiece. Stephen A., how should we be talking about Shai?
Well, Shai is phenomenal. I think that he has an opportunity. If they win the championship, he'll be the greatest player in the history of the Thunder franchise. I don't think there's any question about that. You can't give it to KD because KD didn't deliver the chip. You can't give it to Russell Westbrook because he didn't deliver the chip. This guy's a league MVP, averaging 32 a game, and then in the same breath, he also delivers the chip in the same season. I don't think that you can put anybody above him on the Thunder's franchise, so you got to at least do that. And then when you look at the totality of his game, particularly in this day and age, where you got cats launching threes at every turn, except he doesn't do that. He's got a mid-range game. He's 6'6" with ball handling skills. He's going to give you 6 assists a night. He can finish at the basket. He's shrugging bigger dudes off of him like paper. I mean, when you consider Shea Butter and what he brings to the table, it is something special to see. And you do have to look at him in an entirely different light right now, because even through the first 2 games of his very first NBA Finals, the brother has had 38 and 34. This is what he's doing. He's showing you what you're accustomed to seeing me do was no fluke. It wasn't a figment of your imagination. It's really me. I'm really, really that dude. And that's how he goes out on the court and performs.
Windy?
I've covered the NBA for 23 years. I know Stephen A. has covered it for well over 30. I don't know, Stephen A. You might be heading towards even the higher number
30.
there. I'll let you.
It's on 30 right now.
Okay.
It's on 30.
All right. Markieff has been around a long. I don't know how many years you played Markieff, but you've seen multiple generations of players. The greatest scorer that I've experienced witnessing and covering has been Kevin Durant. Okay, I've never seen anybody who can score like this, and I realize there are guys in the 60s and 70s and 80s that I wasn't as familiar with. I've seen the footage, but Durant is my top of my list. Okay, I think Shai can pass him, because we are in a scoring era. The last 4 years, we've seen scoring almost like we've never seen before, and Shai is the best at it. Guys, he has averaged over 30 points 3 consecutive seasons and shot over 50% on all 3 of those. We are talking about a very small number of people who've ever done that, and most of them were big men who don't play as perimeter players. And what's the biggest complaint that you hear about people who complain about the NBA these days? They say there's too much three-point shooting. This guy doesn't rely on the three-pointer. Over these last 3 years, he shot about 3 threes a game. Now, he shot more this year. He elevated it this year. He shot 5 this year. And so you see him doing a little bit more. But the way that he can dominate old school style in new school ways, my God, he is an absolute machine. Rick Carlisle said it. He said, you can't stop this guy from having 34 points. He makes 30 points feel like 18. He has an average game. Like, you look up in the middle of the first half, I don't think Shai's really doing much tonight. How many has he got? Oh, he's got 19, 2 minutes into the second quarter. The guy is one of the most efficient, pure, relentless scorers I've ever seen, and he's 26. And he gets 3 more wins. He's going to be a guaranteed Hall of Famer. He gets 3 more wins, because if they win 3 more times, he's winning the MVP, because he's scoring over 30 in every game. And we're talking about a guy who might be at the beginning of a generational run.
Him playing in OKC, I mean, obviously it's a small market. Not to take nothing away from OKC, but he was playing in a place like the Garden, like LA, man. He will be on every billboard that you could possibly find. This guy's averaged 30 points for 3 straight years. From 23 to 26, he's averaged 30-plus points. You know how hard that is in the NBA, especially at being that age? And he's carrying a young team, not only last year to the second round in the Western Conference Finals, but to the finals this year. This is an unbelievable thing that he's doing, carrying his young team. So I think right now he's a top 3 player in the league, if you had to ask me. He scored from all levels. His mid-range is second to none. He had the best mid-range in the game by far. There's nobody even close to him. And I know a lot of guys like Booker, like Kevin Durant play in the mid-range, but this guy, he lives in the mid-range. He has a house in the mid-range. He's doing this unprecedentedly from the last time I seen a guard playing in mid-range like this, I don't think we've had in NBA history. And I tip my hat to him. I think, his best years are still in front of him.
Let me tell y'all this. We talked about Kevin Durant, and I get where you're coming from, Wendy, because Kevin Durant is just a scoring machine. He's a professional scorer. I mean, it's nothing for
all
him.
three levels.
This brother is something special, no doubt about it. To be 7 feet with those ball handling skills, that long range ability, his mid range ability, shooting under the rest or whatever, Kevin Durant is something to behold. But we have to take this into consideration. He's averaged 30 a season twice. One of them was his MVP year in 2014, if I remember correctly. Okay, he averaged 32 a game. This cat, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, has averaged 30 at least over the last 3 years. He's averaged 32 this year. He's already won league MVP. He's about to win a championship unless Indiana figures something out with them, okay? And he's about 6 inches shorter, living in the mid-range. Think about that. 6 inches shorter than KD. Mm-hmm. Living in the mid-range, but still giving you 32 a night and boogieing on everybody along the way. It's something special.